We are live. Hello, everybody. Today we have a very special guest. I was lots of time. I want to bring him here, and I was talking with Ninja. Ninja give me the contact from him. He's a fantastic rider. I want to thank Ninja to give me the contact from you, and you are one of the guys who are rocking with the electro skateboards in DC.
Yeah,
How are you, my friend Jackson? Are you
I'm
good?
doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fine, and thank you for coming. So, first of all, like always, I want to make like this. How do you start it? Do you start electric, or what is your background?
So I started with a Dual Plus back in I think winter of 2016.
Hmm.
I bought that. I hadn't known about any other groups or ESK8 dancing or anything like that. So I was inspired by like Casey Neistat, like a lot of people. I saw
Yeah,
him on YouTube and that was a pretty cool thing to try out. So that's why my first board was.
and then, but you are a person who like to move a lot in your board and dance. You like this freestyle that I think is amazing. Lots of persons who goes in rides, they are like there's a couple friends of us who do a little, not like you, not like
Yeah,
ninja, but they do some
yeah.
small tricks, and we are like, wow, that is amazing. First of all, how long do you start to do these moves with your board? And I'm
Yeah.
going to try to change here. I'm going to put it here with this first board. I think that is the Blackfire.
Yeah, that's a zealot backfire. Yeah.
Hmm. And
Yeah, it started out with that board. When I first saw like Gerald doing it, I saw that he was always on like his regular longboard, and I knew he had like a LaCroix and a Cali, so I thought I needed that kind of board to be able to do it. So I just got it like used, thinking that would be the my dancing board. But that changed over time.
But before you have electric, do you have any background of mountain boards or skateboards?
No, yeah, no skateboarding at all. That was like my first time skateboarding any type of board ever.
Okay,
I
and
did some snowboarding before, but that was the first street
okay,
board.
snowboard. You have your feet fast. You
Yeah,
cannot move it. There's no chance for you to
yeah.
dance, my friend. And then when you start to ride in electro skateboard,
Mhm.
how do you start to do these moves and dancing in your board? Why?
Yeah,
What was the reason?
so when I saw Gerald was doing it, I noticed he was well, I was trying to figure out, I guess, how to get into it. So I started like looking up tutorials, but for like normal boards. And then we kind of started this little group because I noticed him and a few other people, they would be going to Lincoln Memorial, they'd be dancing around. And I'd always thought about doing it, but I didn't know if it was going to be my thing. So I got that backfire zealot, and then I went one day and just kind of started practicing. I really liked it because I've always been into like dancing. Like I do like salsa and bachata,
Hmm.
Latin dancing. So it was interesting to me to be able to like try to kind of combine those worlds, do a little bit of that type of dancing on a board. Um, so yeah, I just tried it. Never looked back. Like Joe will tell you, pretty much there as much as he is. Just be staying there like
But
all day, just kind of doing that. Yeah.
for you, my friend, what is the difference when you go to like from a black fire, that is a small deck, and then go to
Yeah.
the Kelly board? That is two different worlds.
Yeah, it's a completely different world. I had always, at least because I started, I think it was this past summer is when I had started,
You
which
started
was the
back
thing
summer and
when
you're
I didn't
doing.
really have to wear anything. Yeah, so yeah, it was really hot back then because I would get into like the 90s. So Yeah, it started this past summer, and it started on the backfire, and I think like because I have like pretty big feet, like most boards are pretty narrow, at least like the ones that are like regular long boards.
Hmm.
So it wasn't as comfortable to do the 180 step on them, and I couldn't get that much like leverage, like because I like to kind of swing really like deep carves and you can't really do it that as easy on the narrow boards. So I just thought like also with the range, it wasn't as much range as I needed to be able to get like from home to there. So I used
Hmm.
to live pretty close. So I just thought, let me try it on my Cali. Even though it's completely impractical because the XL50 is like 50 pounds, so it's really you have to put a lot of force into it to be able to do it. But I wanted the range. Thought it'd be a little bit different because I didn't see anybody doing it on that. So I thought, let me try this out and see if it works. And I think it made everything a lot different. The movements that I was able to get on it were I don't think anybody on like a regular longboard could really do just because you probably like slip off if you're trying to like lean all the way this way. So it became a lot more fun for me. I was falling less. Just because with the wheels that I use, they're really wide. They're I think they're fatty tires. They're Nesto
Hmm.
cells, so they have like really great grip, and it makes it a lot easier to do deep carves. So I was able to do a lot of more exaggerated movements that I like, and so I just didn't think going back to a longboard it would be worth it. The only times I did kind of go back to it were like if my board needed like some work on it or something was broken, then I'd go back to the backfire. But besides that, I never looked back.
And uh, today, when you go for, we seeing you are in a memorial, and there is lots
Hmm.
of persons every day there. That the people ask you,
Yeah.
my friend, how do you do it? Or the people take pictures or make a video.
Yeah, yeah, that'll definitely happen, especially as being there for as long as I usually am. I'll usually catch a few people like trying to take video of me. Most people are just like interested in the board itself, just
Hmm.
because it looks so unusual. Like the few
Hmm.
times I was, like when I would go back to the backfire and I'd still be dancing, like people just look at it like a normal longboard and they don't really say much. But every time I'm out on my Cali, people saying, "Oh, like what's that? Like what's that big thing?" And then they'll want to know like where they can buy it and everything. So a lot of people love kind of getting more like information about it since like the tires are huge. Like it's a huge
Machine.
heavy board. Yeah, basically. So
And you have
yeah,
the 15. The 15 is a very big.
yeah.
And then for you, my friend, I know that what you are doing, you need lots of space. For you to do that in a group ride is like fast impossible, because you cannot
Yeah,
do it.
it can be it's harder. It's not impossible. I used to think it was impossible, but Gerald, the times that he will come on group rides, I'll see him doing like the 180 step. Like he's really good at keeping that like consistent, and even when he has like small space, he's still able to do it. So I've been pushing myself more to kind of keep stuff really narrow. And on one of the I think it was like the DC invasion ride, this like huge ride, everybody comes from
Mhm.
like different states and whatnot to ride. I was able to like dance throughout most of that since the speeds weren't too high. So it's hard, but it's not impossible.
What is the
Um,
speed now that you are talking about that? What is the speed that you usually is perfect for you to ride? Because I see the speed from the Kelly now that you are doing is faster than by the Blackfire. It's completely different.
yeah, yeah, it can be. I can do it probably up to. I never like clocked it, but it's probably like 15, 20 miles per hour. It depends. I mean, that board can go like 40 miles per hour, but I
Yes, but
never try to do it too fast because if you try to
yeah,
do it while you're going really fast, you're probably gonna like wobble out.
that makes
I've
no
been trying to
sense.
push myself to kind of because if I can do it faster, it's easier to do it if I'm riding with people like on the street, but it can just get really sketchy trying to
How
do it
many
that fast. But
how
yeah.
many guys now in DC are doing what you the two of you are doing too?
There used to be a lot back in the summer. At least like 5 or 6 people that I think would consistently come. Now I think like ever since the winter weather kind of came, like and it's before or below like 60 degrees, there haven't been as many people coming.
Hello,
It's
Pierre.
usually just me, Gerald, and this one other person, but she rides like a regular longboard. So it's just basically just me and him at this point. Other
Yeah,
people will kind of come by, but nobody that's actually just dancing.
everybody just come in
Yeah.
the summer. In the winter, everybody
Yeah,
is.
exactly. Summer sport for them. Yeah.
Most of the guys, you just see him just when it's very hot, or
Yep.
the rest of the time you
Exactly.
don't see them anymore. It's like here, my
Yeah.
friend. In the winter, you call anyone, nobody answer. Comes the summer, little sun, everybody wants to go for a nice walk.
Exactly. Yeah, everybody wants to go out. So yeah,
And
it's a lot. It's very much the same here.
in this time that you when you started till today, do you have any accident or fault or something like that? Or
Yeah, I've especially starting out, most of the time it would just be just kind of like if I lose my balance, I'll just have to run off the board. But I did have a couple instances where I would actually like take a real fall, and that's when I started wearing. I usually would wear like those wrist guards you could see
Mhm,
in there. I usually would always wear wrist guards, but they were a lot bulkier
mhm,
for when if I'm crashing at like 30 miles per hour. I have these bigger ones that did a good job. But those ones that I have on, those have lasted me pretty much since summer to now, and that's usually all I need. Like if I fall, it's usually not that big of a deal, and it's usually only at Lincoln for the most part, and there's not like any big things to fall into, so it's usually just a little scrape or something. But
you make that so
yeah,
easy that everybody thinks that is the that is just you, I think I can do it. It's not easy, my friend. It's
uh,
I try it.
it does take some effort, especially on a Cali. It's just like every board you get onto, you usually get used to. So when I transition from riding the Cali and I try to ride a longboard again, it's completely different. Like the amount of force that I'm used to putting into it, I'll usually fall off really easily when I get back on a longboard,
I know.
and the same goes like when I go back. So yeah,
I know because I have a Lacroix, and I try it because you have a big deck, and it's
yeah,
and I start to try it, and it's very heavy, and I know how difficult, how much you have to do it, and
right.
I say, okay, that is not for me, that is for these guys. But it's impressive uh, to see how you guys are doing this. Do you use any type of special shoes to have more grip, or you just use it in the normal sports shoes?
Yeah, just like Vans. I had noticed Gerald was wearing like high tops a lot, and I had never wore high tops for like longboarding at all. And once I tried those, I noticed like you have a lot more control and support. And normally, like if you run off the board, sometimes it can try like trip you up, so it'll run into like the back of your foot. And when you have those like low cut shoes, like
Hmm.
it'll just run directly into it and it'll be worse. But with the high tops, usually there's like cushion, so it stops that from happening. And it's just like more control. So usually I just wear like Vans. I think they're like the BMX shoes, high tops.
Hmm.
And those have been my go-tos pretty much the whole time.
How many times do you train or ride in a week?
Mhm. Um, with the winter, now it's probably like 2 times max, just because most of the time if it's not raining, it's probably in like the 30s or the 20s Fahrenheit, and
That's not
that's
good for the batteries.
yeah, it's yeah. Unless I'm really itching to get out, like I might go out today just because it's in kind of high 30s, which is warm for now this time of year. So I
In,
might do it, but yeah.
in this time of year, you have to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah, I'll be going on a trip pretty soon. But yeah,
Yeah.
snowboarding's definitely been more of
Snowboarding
my
is very,
focus
very,
now.
very, 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 very good too. And that is good to see
Yeah.
that you make the two types of sports. And I think that is
Yeah.
fantastic. And I love snowboard. Snowboard is very, very, very good. And uh, I just want to put it this way: if do you think what you think to incentivize more people to do this sport? Uh, what do you think the people need when they want to say, okay, I want to try it, but I'm afraid. What is your what you give to these guys for
Right. Yeah, so I think starting out, well, just to longboarding or like electric longboarding in general, I think it's always better to get a normal one, just to have that like foundation. So I mean, there's tons of like Chinese
Mhm.
boards that come from like China that are being made now at like 300, $500. So I think definitely starting kind of on the low end just to make sure that you like it and kind of get used to the general feel of being on a longboard. You can start with one of those. I had started out with the boosted board, and then I went to think it was an Evolve board. That was like the first all-terrain board with like 6-inch tires that I got, and then eventually worked my way up to the 50 that I have now.
The
But I
other
think it's
ones,
good to
the
what
other
would
ones,
again?
the other ones was with street wheels.
Yeah, so the boost board had street wheels, and then the Evolve I had, it could switch
Yeah,
between
yeah,
the
yeah.
yeah, the
The two
six
of them.
inch and the regular street wheels. Yeah.
Hmm. And all the time, what you use? You prefer to use the street wheels, or you prefer to use the this type of tires, a little bigger and
Yeah, I love the big tires. At first, I think with the Evolve boards, because they didn't have, at least at the time, I got the Carbon GT, which
Mhm.
was like a really stiff deck, so it didn't have any flex like the Cali has. So it was convenient to ride around, but it didn't feel comfortable. And then
That
when I
is
got my first Cali, that like my perception on that changed because those had like the same flex as a boosted roughly, but they were a lot more comfortable to ride around because you could kind of bounce around and keep your feet just kind of moving.
do you
But
do you
yeah,
think is important for a person to have like a flex deck is better for you to dance on a board because you are talking about
yeah,
the involved is carb is like for speed you don't you're not going to get no
right.
flex.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't think I've really tried to dance on any boards that didn't have some type of flex in them. I think a lot of them just do now because it's a lot more comfortable. I think it probably makes it a little more or less less likely to like split or break. So my first carbon GT, I got run over by a car, and like
Ooh.
the carbon fiber deck split.
Ooh.
So that kind of discouraged me also from
That
getting
is
anything like
scary.
that that didn't have some type of flex because that's if a car were to kind of like partially run over your board, most boards like they have enough flex that it wouldn't immediately just snap. So definitely like it's just more durable. That's what I'm seeing now. Pretty much every board has at least a little bit of flex in it. But I think
Yeah,
for dancing, it is definitely good to have some. It makes things a
flex.
little bit easier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you look for the boosted board. Boosted board was one of the best flex on the road.
Right.
Is
Exactly.
is very sad that we don't have this company anymore with us.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the best boards as fleck as quality, and it's very sad that we lose so a big and good company. But
Right.
that is like is very sad, but happens. But we today you have a fantastic board. I think he's one of the best companies out there. First of all, Ernesto is one of the best riders, and he knows
Hmm.
what he's selling, and he listens to you guys, and he loves the DC riders. He's the last time was here in the interview, he was the first person to say the best. Crew I ever ride with the DC crew. That's because you guys are incredible. I just want to say to the Cubano, hey Cubano, I hope that you are okay, my friend. He organized so many events for you, my friend. Today don't you tell me in private that before you ride a little more with the groups, and today you like more this freestyle uh, for you, what is the different riding with a group and riding like you and your friend?
Right. So I think with group riding, a lot of the time you're not really kind of moving around, and if it's especially if it's like a bigger group, you're gonna be going a little bit slower. There's more stopping, so it's just kind of a different vibe. And then also you're on the street, so it's a little bit more dangerous. There's other vehicles and stuff around you, so it's just a whole different vibe than when it comes to like dancing. Dancing at the Lincoln Memorial, especially at least now, there isn't a lot of too much to like run into. You can kind of keep out of people's way and just kind of have your own space to do your thing. Whereas when you're like riding on the street, you have to kind of be aware of all your surroundings. It's more of a risk that something could happen. So I just stopped kind of going to the group rides just because I wanted to kind of just go do my own thing, have fun. It's just like a less risk of getting into any accidents. And when I was going on group rides, and also just kind of riding on my own, I would always be trying to go really fast. That's the reason why I originally had got the Cali boards, because I knew they could go really fast and they had the big tires and everything. Um, and fell, I started falling more often, especially when I got the 50, because I was pushing the limit a lot more. And just like something told me when I saw like Gerald doing his thing that I should probably try to transition into something a little more safe. So that's when I kind of picked that up.
And believe it or not, I have lots of interviews here, and I listen
Mhm.
every day now more and more that the people transition from big groups to go to just a group of friends, maybe three,
Right.
four, five, six friends, because always the big group is the big problem. It's nice for you to go in a group ride, but can is lots of people riding. You never know what is going to happen. I
Right.
don't, I
Right.
don't, I don't want to criticize the groups. Everybody can do whatever I want. I was with last time I was in a group of 350 riders. That is not the problem, but you cannot do. And I understand your type of riding. You like to ride and you like to dance in your board, and you
Hmm.
sometimes is your style and your friends is has the same style like you, and you are together. It's not that you don't like to make groups, but I understand what you mean. Today sometimes I go just with two three friends and I have so much fun, but so much fun. And sometimes when you go to a big group ride, you don't talk with maybe 5% of the people. You just ride,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
and
Yeah,
that's
I mean, there are some really big group rides. Like I mentioned, I think they call it the DC like takeover or something like that. It's like a really big ride they do. I think it's twice
I'm
a
going to.
year now.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that like those big kind of rides where like there's probably 100 people riding, and we kind of shut down the streets.
I
Are a
know
lot
that.
more, yeah, they're a lot more fun to go
I,
on, and since they're like more rare, it like entices me to go out.
I just going
But
to put it.
besides that, yeah,
Yeah, I'm just going to put it here very fast for people to understand how big is this event from these guys, because
yeah,
here you can see
yeah, the invade, yeah, it's called
that
the
is
invade.
that is from this year, and it was guys from New
Yeah,
York there too, and I think
yeah,
that
New York, Philadelphia, everywhere.
uh, then it's fantastic for you to see so many people together, and it's like this. It's fantastic to see so many people together. But like always, guys, don't forget that's a group ride. You have to think that you cannot go to the speeds that you or to the limits that you maybe ride when you be with three or four friends riding. But that is
Right,
the DC guys. If you don't know the DC crew, believe it, go there. That they made lots of things to help the community. They do lots of rides and everything. Go there, but today that don't get in the group. That gets on you, my friend. What you think you're going to do in the future? Do you want to make that like? Do you like to see this like a big sport that you have more persons doing what you are doing, and creating new styles of riding and dancing. Uh, what is for you the plans for you and your friend and DC to make?
Yeah, so I think, well, like electric vehicles in general are definitely just going to get more popular, especially as they get more affordable. I think that's the big thing because most of the
Hmm.
time, whenever I tell people how much the Cali costs, they're like, "Oh, it's like already out of their mind." Um, but definitely, like when it's where it's at with most of like the lower end boards to go maybe like 10 miles, being like 300 or so dollars. It's a lot more accessible, and I think that's why it's definitely gotten bigger as more of those options have come out. But as far as like what I want for dancing, I'd like to see more people dancing. Whenever like Gerald comes by, or in the summer when everybody would kind of be there, it was nice to have other people around, pushing the limits. There's a lot of things that I like picked up from them. It's people that I watch on like Instagram. They give me ideas for new moves. So it's definitely, I think, good for the community to have more people trying new things because it just makes all of us, better, gives us new inspiration. But yeah, I think it definitely has to be warm for people to want to come out. So I think this summer probably see more people coming out and trying it. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's
after,
nice right now because there's not as much people at the Lincoln Memorial, which is where we primarily go. But yeah,
I just going to say to everybody is out there, if you're going to see the video later, or if you are now there, I'm going to leave the link from his Instagram. Where is the place that everybody can find you when they go when they want to
right there.
learn?
Yeah,
Right in this beautiful place and the memorial in DC, Washington DC. My friend, uh, I want to, first of all, I want to thank you so much for coming. I think you are very important for our community. Uh, don't stop doing what you're doing. I was talking with you in private. I talk with, I tell Ninja because then everybody knows who is the guy that Ninja from DC. He do lots of things. AES8 Ninja. I just want to say, my friend, do a little more videos for
yeah,
all of us
definitely.
to see how the two of you, maybe the first steps for us to know how to
Right,
go, and maybe I can try it too, because
right. Yeah, yeah,
I,
definitely. I
I
think
think
you
that
can
is
do it.
important for you guys. You are the two of you are uh, very good in that, and I think if you make some small videos just showing how is the beginning, how
Hmm.
can we go, I think that's going to be fantastic. And maybe 6 months I can show you something that I
Yeah,
learned with you.
yeah,
You
that'd be
never know.
great.
So,
Yeah,
guys,
yeah,
I just
definitely
want
open
to
to that.
say, I just want to have the two questions more. One of them is,
Mhm.
what protections do you use? You just use for your hands, or you have any other protection that you use when you go dancing and when you go for your rides?
Yeah, so for regular riding, I would wear a lot more. It depended on the day and like the weather. But I would wear usually like impact shorts, like padded shorts, um, knee pads,
Because I see in
elbow
your hand here,
guards.
because I
Yeah,
see in
see
your
now one of those, I think I may have had like one wrist, yeah, like that on the right side.
yes.
That's usually what I would kind of wear. I stopped wearing that eventually because it was just too bulky.
Hmm.
But yeah, usually that's what I would wear, especially in like the summer where it's like you're wearing usually just like a t-shirt or something. I wear that and probably some knee pads underneath,
Hmm.
then the helmet and everything.
I just ask you
But
this because I
yeah.
see the video and I see that you just use in one hand in specific, not in the two hands. And I was like,
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I forget to put it back on because sometimes I'll take them off. Sometimes I'll keep them on. It just kind of depends. But
yeah, that's why
yeah,
I was like, is it special, or was do you have any
yeah.
accident
No,
at this moment?
sometimes people will have just like once whatever side that they know they usually fall on. Like I've seen some people that wear like one knee pad because they know they always fall on the same knee. They'll just do that. Just gotta guess they want to be as free as possible, but just a little bit of protection. But yeah, usually I'll just do both if I'm gonna go on like a really long and fast ride. But nowadays I usually just wear those wrist guards, like the white and black gloves I have on, and then like a helmet, and that's usually enough. But I definitely recommend the padded shorts. I think any like snowboarding, I wear them. Longboarding, I wear them. Like getting like a tailbone injury is the worst injury to get, just because every time you sit down, you feel it. So definitely recommend that.
Yeah, I think too, my friend. I think that is very important for you to have, and I just want to say, don't stop doing what you are doing. I think that is amazing. I think we need more persons like you. Uh, from my side, I tell you, thank you so much for coming to the life. I hope to see in the future uh, more stuff from you, and showing, maybe helping the community. I hope this summer is going to be better for you guys and have
Yeah, yeah. I think
more.
this summer is going to be great.
I think that is going to help you a lot, and you're going to have more and more riders there, and you're going to have more fun. From my side, I tell
Yeah.
thank you again. Don't forget, tomorrow is Monday. Monday is German interview, and we're going to have then uh, uh, the next interview in international is going to be with a beautiful lady from Sacramento. Is She is a one wheeler, and she's going to come here, and she's doing a very nice interview with us. Is not me interviewing, is going to be Hella is going to interview. And for you, my friend, like always, I leave you with the last words for your community, for your friends who are going to come and see the video maybe later or something like that. I leave, like always, the last words is for you, my friend.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate you having me come on and be able to share this. Yeah, I just say anybody that's thinking about getting into it, definitely just kind of start with like the basic steps. Don't be afraid to just go out in a random parking lot somewhere and start it. And even if you're not like immediately getting it, you just gotta keep pressing on. Definitely, if you could come down to the Lincoln Memorial, I'm pretty much there anytime there's decent weather. So definitely try to find somebody. But yeah, just keep going on.
Yeah, that's good, my friend. Thank you so much. I just want to say, guys, go there and please support the riders. If you don't know how to ride like me, dancing in a board, you have the chance. If you are from DC, go there and see these two guys. They do amazing stuff with the longboards, electric longboards, dancing, and just go there, have some fun. I'm going to leave the link for you, all of you. Thank you so much. And first of all, thank you so much, my friend, for taking your private time and to come here and talk with the live talk that is for
Well,
riders,
thanks for having me.
my
Appreciate it.
friend. So, guys, having a good night, good day, wherever you are, and we see you in the next